YouTube. My name is Gene. We're G Squared DIY. Me and my partner Trey, whose name happens to be Gene as well, which is the reason for the G Squared DIY. I know you guys didn't log on today to look at my ugly face and some introductory video about anything that we're doing, but it's a new channel. We have no content. We do have some subscribers and we appreciate you. And just wanted to introduce ourselves. Trey's a little under the weather today. Wasn't able to be with us, but hopefully one of our first videos, instructional videos, he'll be able to introduce himself. Mostly have a background in HVAC, but also I'm an avid camper. And anybody that camps knows every time you go out camping, you have some problem. Water heater breaks, something tears up, something leaks. So hopefully this summer when we get out camping, be able to do a few videos, how to on pretty much anything on any camper, slides and water heaters and anything else that goes wrong with campers. But mostly we're gonna stick to the HVAC aspect of things. That's what my background is for almost 20 years now. We're going to start out with small stuff, capacitors, how to check them, how to replace them, contactors, defrost boards, sensors, relays, things like that. And then we'll kind of see how that goes. If people like the videos, people request content, we'll go up 3-phase motors, belts, compressors, motors, whatever it is that people want to see. We'll certainly make videos of that as well. I did want to take some time today to answer a few questions that people most frequently ask me. I just didn't want this to be a video. I'm sure nobody searched us today to listen to me talk about who we are and what we're trying to do. So I guess in the last 18 years, the most frequent question, I guess, that I've gotten, and the one that's most common is, what do I leave my thermostat set on, and are programmable thermostats worth it? The latter part of that, yeah, I would say I'm not a huge fan. I do have a programmable thermostat, but I'd never program it. I've never understood why people would want to use so much energy to heat or cool their home in a set period of time, only to see that heat lost or that heat gained back to their home. To me, it just doesn't make sense. I've crunched and done the numbers myself as well, as far as whether or not I've saved energy for having a programmable thermostat versus non. I'm a huge fan of finding something that makes you comfortable and just leaving it there. And people ask, well, what is that temperature? And I've always thought that was a silly question as well, because it's whatever makes you comfortable. Honestly, the heat transfer through the walls, summer, winter, is going to basically be about the same whether you have it at 69 or 72. The AC is going to come on at the same intervals, go off at the same time. You're basically going to use the same amount of energy, so you're paying for comfort every month. You likely paid for the AC in your home, which is a comfort thing as well. You might as well be comfortable. That's the whole idea. So find a temperature, leave it on it. Don't change it up and down. I do at night. I think most people do. I allow the temperature to drop at night in the house, just because most of us sleep better when it's cooler in the house. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not a huge fan of programmable thermostats in the sense of using them as a programmable thermostat. Just find a temperature that makes you comfortable and leave it there. And if you have to prove it to yourself that it doesn't really save you a whole lot of energy, then like I did, then okay, that's fine. Another question people frequently ask is, or they don't really ask, they tell me that they don't want to run their emergency heat on their heat pump if it's messed up, if the heat pump's messed up, because they have this huge misconception that it's immediately, like their power bill immediately is going to go up, $50 just because they said they were going to turn the emergency heat on, not understanding that emergency heat is essentially the same thing as auxiliary heat. it is the same thing. Auxiliary heat works in combination with your heat pump, and hopefully your thermostat and your heat pump would do a very good job of allowing it to cycle as little as possible. But your auxiliary heat, when it comes on, it is exactly the same heat element, same kilowatt, same amp draws as the emergency heat. However, if your heat pump is messed up and is frozen, has no freon, compressor's not running, whatever the case may be, then your heat pump is adding no heat to your home. It's sitting outside running for no reason, and you have a vicious cycle of the electric elements coming on every 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and cycling off and back on and off. So in that case, you're using more energy than you would if you had your electric or emergency heat on. The emergency heat, if you ran it from January the 1st to January the 31st non-stop, it's all you ran, of course it's going to cost you more to do that than it would if your heat pump was functioning properly. But in the case when it's not, that's not doing you any favors. The electric heat is not costing you any more money to run in the spread of time it takes for someone to get the parts you need to properly fix your heat pump. If you have to do that for 3-4 days, the amount of money you would spend to run the electric heat and whether or not it would cost you more would be very minimal. So I'm not too sure that that's a big deal as far as running your electric heat or your emergency heat as people think that it is. If you need it, run it. If you have a heat pump that's not functioning properly, of course, get it fixed. Yes, a functioning heat pump along with auxiliary heat would save you more than just running the electric heat all the time. I hope that was informational. Again, just kind of wanted to give you an idea of who we were. Hopefully you'll meet Trey in the first instructional video that we do. We're going to try to maybe get some capacitors on, some thermostats, just basic stuff that I could probably teach my children to do. And we hope to get those uploaded soon. Please, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned. We're definitely going to start putting a bunch of stuff on there. In this world where it seems like people's, I do HVAC for a living. And I'm very fair. My God would have it no other way than for me to be fair to people and do right by people. But that's not most people's conviction. So I do understand why people run to YouTube and various other platforms to get information about anything really. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're going to try to do. And introduce you guys to the world of DIY. I suppose you all can become YouTube mechanics.